Hey guys! Welcome back to my Books Build Life channel! So today is going to be a little different. Today we're going to be talking about my reading journal. And I want to give a shout out to Rachel Marie BT at Rachel Marie's Book Journey just for giving me some ideas with her own journal video about what to do with these 50-ish brown pages in the middle of my reading journal, because I was like, what am I supposed to do with all these empty pages? But here I am, figured it out. And I also want to give thanks to Peyton at Peyton Reads, because she really is bold. She did her reading journal for the first time. She posted it, no cares given. It was beautiful. I loved it, even though she thinks it had a lot of mistakes. And it just made me think, like, you know what? We should be proud of our journals. And even if it's our first time and it doesn't look perfect, we should be happy to share it. So here is my video sharing my reading journal with all of you. So just for starters, my reading journal is from China. I had been through a couple of bookstores in China, and I had seen like reading journals and movie journals and stuff like that. So I thought that was really interesting. So I ordered myself one, and here it is. Reading journal. It's very classic, very simple. It has a quote in the front. Reading makes a full man, conference a ready man, and writing an exact man. Some books are to be tasted, others to be swallowed, and some few to be chewed and digested. By Francis Bacon. So yeah, I thought about putting stickers on it and things like that. Like, people around have been making it really pretty, but honestly, it's classic. It looks nice. I didn't want to mess it up. I'm really bad at putting stickers on like that look in an organized fashion. So I was just like, nah, not for me. So let's go on to show you what the inside looks like. So before we get to the bullet journal part, this book has a reading plan section. I guess it would function as a TBR section where you could plan your TBR and then you can write here, did you read it, the author, and what you thought about it. The way I'm using it is just to keep track of what I have read, regardless of if it was my TBR or not, because I can't keep a TBR for my life. I'm a very big mood reader. So as you can see, I've read 13 books so far in January. I started obviously on the 1st of January. I put monthly. It says if you're doing this weekly, monthly, or yearly. I put monthly. Here, when the month ends, I'll just put the date that the month ended, obviously, and then move on to the next one. There's about 60 pages of these, so you can do 2 pages per month. It wouldn't mess up anything. I don't ever think I'll read more than 20 books a month, honestly, because I'm a busy person. But who knows? Maybe I will need an extra page. So that's why I've been writing the dates as I started. For every 10 books, I'm picking my top read. So for this page, it was This Is How You Lose the Time War, which was like insanely good. And if you haven't read it, please go get it. And yeah, I haven't figured out a top read here because the month isn't finished and I haven't finished the page. So we'll find out about that later. The next part that follows these pages is review pages section. So it has one page where you put all the details about the book, quotes that you loved, where did it come from, what genre it is, was it a graphic novel, was it regular, the press, the authors, the title, your rating, was it a paper book, was it an ebook, what number read it is, so like this is read number 4, and when you read it. So I read it January 8th, 2020. So as you can see, I'm pretty elaborate in my reviews on this side. Most of the time I write my reviews right after I'm done reading the book, just so I don't forget any details. I'm really bad about remembering character names and things that really caught me after I'm done reading a book for a while. Not because I didn't enjoy the book, but just like I don't really have great information retention when it comes to books. And it could have been a book that I absolutely loved and would scream to the top of my lungs, and I wouldn't remember the character names. So like this book I rated a 5. It was an ebook. It also was an ARC. When it's a NetGalley ARC, I try to put when it's publishing, if it's a physical ARC as well. So same concept. This is meant for translators, but rarely books have translators unless they're from another language. So I've taken that spot to write how many pages I've read, just like at the end of the month I can calculate how many pages I've read, and that's important for another section of my journal, which I'll share with you in a moment. So as you can see, that's basically what I do every time I read. Yes, that was a 1-star rating. We will talk about this book in detail in another video that I need to compose myself to make. And this is the eternal reader problem right here. I absolutely love this book. I couldn't have enough of it. The quotes were killing me because they were amazing. And then this is all I wrote. And like, isn't that the quintessential problem? Like, you love a book so much, and then you can't even find enough words to describe it. So like, yeah, if you're looking for a poetry collection that's going to touch your soul, Poems Worth Saving by Abigail Denis Reville is where you should be at. And this one had a designer. So I also put her name in. Now, on to the bullet journal part of my journal is here. So I like to travel, and I thought, why not travel through books this year? So I made my theme of my journal a travel journal. Just a disclaimer, because some people have been like, oh my god, it's so pretty, of the pictures I've posted on Twitter. I just want to say that really beautiful human being on Twitter sent me some beautiful stencils for Christmas, and that's what I've been using to make the letters in my journal. And I just want to put that out there that I do not have perfect handwriting, and I will show you examples of my not so perfect handwriting in here, but I wanted to make it look pretty, so I thought stencils would be a better way to go. So I have my blog and YouTube channel name, Books Build Life 2020. Explore. I have a lot of travel themed stickers, and I also have washi tape. My washi tape for this book is pretty simple, just because it's, as you can see, it's a brown paper kind of notebook, so I didn't want to put anything flashy on it. Maybe next year I'll go white and be able to use more colorful stuff, but honestly, I really loved it. Now, the first thing I'm really proud of this journal is how it begins. So because it's a travel journal, I wanted to have maps to keep track of where I've traveled. So I'll use the United States as an example. I cut these out and I drew them from some pictures that I saw online. So basically this is all of the United States. And we have 3 selections for colors. We have character location, book location, and author location. So I can choose to color in countries or states based on, was the author there, or is the author from there, where were the characters situated, or where did the whole book take place. So far we have an author who was from New Mexico, we have characters who were in Washington, and we have books that took place in New York and Florida, just to give you an example. I do not have Canada, and I did not mean to insult anybody by that. I just forgot to draw Canada, but I've already read books with Canada in it, so I'll keep that in mind. So I made a map for each part of the world. Latin America, so far I've read Brazil, Dominican Republic, Cuba, and Mexico. I have Europe with France and Spain already completed. I have Asia, and I have Japan completed. And I have Africa, which like I actually have read a substantial amount considering that it's only like 28 days into the month. I've read characters that were in Zimbabwe, characters that were in Nigeria, and characters and books that took place in Egypt. So this is really exciting. So not only do I get to keep track of diverse authors, diverse titles, but also where in the world they take me, which is like the proudest part of my whole journal. I'm not gonna lie. Now here, as you can see, like a lot of people have like fancy pages that introduce them to the month. I obviously don't have as many pages to do that, so I decided to do away with that design. So I just kept it simple. I just wrote the month that we were gonna have on this page. I kept the washi tape simple, my travel stickers as usual, and I have a days read calendar, so I've read about 15, 16 days this month, and I've read 13 books. Here's the rating, just with little dots, and the titles of the book that I've read. It says TBR, but honestly, it's a build yourself TBR. I just put in the book that I've read in here. I don't have a predisposed list that I'm following. It's just, you know, it's the language of the world, you know? Wow, people messaging me all of a sudden. This one is another one I'm also really proud of because this is the hashtag Bonesaw Board Reading Challenge spread. If you don't know, I'm one of the co-hosts for this challenge on Twitter, where we want to encourage all of you guys to read more Latinx books this year. And so far I have read 4 books, which are listed here. I drew this little honeycomb setup to keep track of the books. There's 31 honeycombs. And basically, that is my goal, because my badge that I want to achieve is Latinx historian, which I'll probably put in here in some corner. And then we have some prompts. So right now we're buddy reading as a challenge the Library of Lost Things for the mental health prompt. You're welcome to join. You can check the link below for our Discord server where we're discussing the book and reading along. And so we have some topics: mental health, romance, fantasy, contemporary, out of comfort zone, LGBTQIA reads, Afro-Latinx reads, fat rep, and retellings. So that's going to put me outside of my comfort zone a little bit, because some of these I don't really read. So I'm thinking out of a comfort zone is a lot of these for me, but you know, this is why we're doing it. So I'm really excited about this, about reading more Latinx authors, and the fact that I found some amazing books that I've absolutely loved so far makes me even more excited. Now, next we have February. I made this one a little different, so I do have my TBR set up. I do have my days read calendar, but then I see, like, I did make a mistake here. I tried to erase, and I was like, no. But this snail is supposed to keep track of my genre preferences that I read in February. So here I will write what genres I've been reading and kind of filling this in. So by the end of February, I should have a full snail, just so I can see, like, what genres am I leaning more towards, since I normally don't keep track of that. I have a lot of NetGalley reads due in February. Some of these are coming out soon. So The Wonders of Wildflowers, Sex Positive, Wranglestone, Woman Win the Vote. I've already read 2 of them, which is why that's filled in, even though it's February. And yeah, so as you can see, there's a lot of good stuff coming out. And then pages read, I'm trying in February to keep track of, more specifically, of pages that I have read each day. So we will see how that goes. I just wanted to give it a different look than January. Then we have my Rainbow Read spread. Basically, this one is super cool because this is to keep track of all the beautiful LGBTQIA reads that I can get my hand on this year, which is going to be quite a lot, because, like, my pending TBR/mood reads are all stacked with all the gayness, and I'm super excited about it. So the first one that had the honor to go on my Rainbow Read spread was This Is How You Lose the Time War, which was amazing. It was a great start. And then I put this chart down here, this rainbow, is to keep track of what kind of gay books I'm reading. So, like, am I reading books with trans and non-binary characters? Am I reading books with lesbian characters? Am I reading books with gay characters, aspec characters, bisexual characters, or polyam characters? Obviously, I wanted to try to represent everybody in the LGBTQIA plus umbrella, just to expand my reading, because there are other kind of representations that I have not read about often. I put some quotes that really hit me. So, like, I put, I won't apologize for who I am, and a hashtag love is love. Here, there's also another gender tracker. Sorry. There's another gender tracker. So I've already read sci-fi. Every time I read sci-fi, it'll be purple. And this I cut out and did myself, just like rainbow reads. And I'm really excited about this. As you can see, there's a lot of space, because it's exactly the amount of books I expect to read this year. And then we have March, which has more color than the previous one. So I'm trying to vary it up a bit. So I have days read, TBR, my reading list, which, like, but, like, my reading list is for April, so I have these two side by side, so I call it TBR, and then I changed it up, my reading list, and I changed up the calendars, because otherwise they would have been right next to each other, would have been kind of boring. So I put days read down here instead of up there. Obviously travel stickers, but I changed my washi tape to something a little bit more lively, so it wouldn't be like black on black. And so, yeah. Then we have my diverse book spread. So this one was pretty cool, and I was really excited about it. So this is a general breakdown of all the genres I've been reading. So I have historical fiction, fantasy, poetry, romance, nonfiction, graphic novels, thrillers, and sci-fi. I don't know if I mentioned it. So yeah, so this is a genre breakdown. So obviously, as you can tell, I've been reading graphic novels like nobody else. And the way this works is when they're finally filled out, obviously there won't be enough space for the whole year. So you just make dots here for the other books that you read in this category. So eventually it'll be like this whole signal tower, and then many, many dots that you can count, which is going to look pretty cool when it's finished. And as you can tell, I'm predisposed to reading certain ones which have bigger spaces just because that's my prediction, but like, who knows? Maybe it'll switch it up. We'll find out. So this is my genre circle conglomerate there. And then here is authors. So I wanted to keep track of how much or how many white authors, Muslim authors, Black authors, Asian authors, and Latinx authors I read. So as you can see, they're in fierce competition right now between Latinx and white authors. Just because like I've been making more of an effort to read Latinx authors, and it's clearly showing. And then I have some great reads for these sections that I'm like super looking forward to. So I want to see how these columns match up at the end of the year. And I really hope, not anything against my white authors because they write good stories too, but like I really hope I have been able to diversify my TBR a little bit more than that. So everybody has an equal chance at representation in my reading selection. Then I made my buddy reads page. Obviously, there's only 3 right now. I don't want to add buddy reads that I don't know for sure are happening yet. So, like, I don't have to cross them out or leave them blank. So, I only have these 3 so far that I have. So, I'll be doing Cemetery Boys with a paperback Nat starting the first day of February. So, we've broken it down into these chapters that we're going to read. And I'll fill in the star when I'm finished. Then we have American Street, which I will be reading along with at Latinx Book Club. From February 1st to February 29. We are reading 2 chapters a day, or at least I'm going to be reading 2 chapters a day because that's the only way I can digest it. So I'll be filling in one of these squares every day when I read 2 chapters. And then here I'll write my thoughts when I'm finished, and I will color in the arrow when the book is completely done. This Library of Lost Things, I'm reading with the at Consawar RC, which is the hashtag Consawar Reading Challenge. We broke it down into these chapters and dates. So like so far today is the 2nd day of the reading challenge. So I've only read 1, obviously, still haven't read today's. So I'm working on that. And here we will have some other ones. Like I will be participating in at Peyton Reads Hunger Games Readathon, which by the way, if you're interested in reading the Hunger Games series, again, I would suggest you check out at HG Readathon on Twitter or at Peyton Reads channel for the video on how they're going to do it. I've never read the Hunger Games. I'm really excited to read along with other people. So that one will probably be the next one on here. Then I have my reading tracker, which my dad saw and he was like, wow, that looks like a lot is happening, and was very hard to make, but I tried. So I have a reading tracker with, again, this washi tape is mean. I have a reading tracker with travel stickers. Obviously, my whole reading tracker didn't fit, so it's a continuation onto the next page. Orange is for 0 chapters, 1 chapter, 2 chapters, 3 chapters, 4 chapters. So I've been pretty good about reading more than 4 chapters a day. There's a couple of days where I didn't read any. And yesterday, I only read 2 chapters, which were the Library of the Lost Things chapters. When the January is done, I will calculate all the reading pages that I did on here. And I will put them there. Just to keep track. And then here I put best month. So at the end of the year, I'll be able to put which month I did the best when it came to reading, which I'm really hyped about. And then I think this page I made yesterday. So yeah, this is my bookshelf, which a lot of people have. And this is my books read in 2020, which is the amount of books. So I actually, on my Goodreads challenge, there's only 70 books. But if I keep reading at the speed that I'm reading right now, I'm going to need more space. So I left it at 98 because it was even for the page to look nice. And my shelf also has 98 books. Actually, does it? I think my shelf has 100 books just to like allow for the 2 more to round it up. So this is the shelf of books I've read so far. And the way this color coding works is audiobook is pink, ebook is yellow, physical is green, and library books are red. So as you can see, I have a lot of ebooks, a lot of physical books, and then I just started going to the library because I just moved to Georgia and I didn't have a library card. So there's the library borrows that I've had. I'm crazy, and I went to a library to get my card for the first time, and then all of a sudden I walked out with 5 books. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that is the end of my reading journal. Obviously, I will add the other months as I go, or any other spreads that I need, but I didn't want to crowd the other pages until I knew exactly what I wanted. So I've only gone as far as April, and with those trackers that I showed you. So I hope you got some ideas for your own journal. Let me know what you thought about it, what's cool about it, how your reading goals are going, and I hope to see you next time. Bye-bye!